For me, when I think about culture, I think about something that is pretty wide and expansive and that is part of the everyday and not something exceptional.
When we talk about culture, to me, it's more in day-to-day life, like the way people live, the way people interact, because with different culture has different way of doing things.
For me, culture includes prayer and ceremony, defending the right of a human being to have clean water. I look to the forest as a place of wisdom and healing. It's like the cathedral of the indigenous peoples.
I think that I experience it on a daily basis because of the nature of the neighborhood that I live in. If I walk down Bank Street or if I walk on some of the side streets, I can see murals that have been painted by local artists that I know. And I also can go to any number of restaurants in my neighborhood, and the choice is quite phenomenal.
And one of the reasons we are in downtown is because we wanted to be close to the cultural hubs, I would say, in Ottawa. We are pretty much close to everything, and we can walk and it's very accessible, mainly to the theaters and all the clubs and Byward Market, Elgin Street, where things happen, and the Glebe, or sometimes around Hindenburg.
Pour nous, de voyager 45 minutes, c'est pas un problème.
Usually in the summer months, summer, fall, spring, I'll be cycling most of the time. So I bike. And then as it gets colder, I tend to switch over to taking, OC Transpo, public transit. I do drive now. It's a new thing. I do drive as well, but I find that because of parking and traffic and parking is expensive, it's hard to find parking. So it just doesn't make sense to drive when I can bike.
On a là peut-être 7-8 ans passés, dans le village, on fait un parc. Sur mes petits-enfants, quand ils viennent, c'est pas un gros village qu'on reste dedans, là, c'est tout petit. C'est tout petit. Donc tout le monde a accès au village pour marcher. Donc soit Diane ou moi, on s'en va avec les 3 petits-enfants, puis on va au parc, puis on s'amuse dans le parc, puis les enfants, ils adorent ça, tu sais, là. Donc, dans notre coin, est-ce qu'on voudrait avoir un ciné? Est-ce qu'on voudrait avoir quelque chose de gros? Non.
That's the place where I live now. We used to have a all mill, it was a big barn when we just moved in. And now, the barn and the mill, already tore down, and instead there are 5 houses located in that location. When we first saw that barn, in fact, we felt that's the culture of that local area.
Chez nous, on a une fraisière, il y a l'autocueillette, puis tous les enfants sont bienvenus. Je me dis, ces jeunes-là sont nos clients du futur. Puis, moi, je me souviens ramasser des fraises sauvages avec mes parents, des bleuets sauvages. Alors, j'encourage tout le temps les jeunes familles d'apporter leurs enfants pour cueillir la fraise. Même s'ils en mangent, c'est pas grave.
Tu sais, j'ai été un petit peu déçu avec Lansdowne. C'était un gros projet. On a été dit que c'était supposé d'être pour les gens de la ville d'Ottawa. On a été très actifs dans ce projet-là, comme marché. J'étais avec les marchés, j'étais un des représentants qui était toujours à la ville. Puis c'est devenu juste un autre centre de commerce. Donc ça, j'aimerais pas voir d'autres parcs ou d'autres parcs d'autres des développements comme ça.
In terms of presenting, I think to see more of of professional acts or first-class acts more affordable to public, because we have the National Arts Center, but again, when you go to the National Arts Center and you go and want to see like a first-class show, you have to be willing to spend at least $100 on a ticket, and I think this is one of the reasons where a lot of people, they don't go to the theater or to see shows or to see a ballet, because it's only privileged people can do it, and arts, they need to be more accessible to the entire community.
I know that throughout many neighborhoods in Montreal there are maisons de culture, which have programs, again organized at a local level, for artists of many different kinds of artists to be able to present their work and attract an audience. And it would be lovely to see that kind of investment in the local arts community here in Ottawa.
More can be done to create spaces where there can be more culture in the neighborhoods that we do live in, on like whether that's Vanier, Overbrook, or Westboro, creating those spaces where culture and arts can be a bit more vibrant outside of the downtown core. I think there's a need for that. Yeah.
People that embrace a spiritual base for their life know there's a place in their territory or on their lands that is a spiritual significance. So for the Algonquins, it was at Chaudière Falls. It was heartbreaking, and for me as an Indigenous man, as an Algonquin, whenever the condos were built at our sacred site.
The Asinabka, and the Chaudière Falls area, I know it has a lot of importance for a lot of Algonquin people, and I think that keeping the discussion open and keeping Indigenous people, specifically Algonquin nations and Algonquin people, involved in the decision making of what happens with space, especially that space, is really important.
Given, for example, the importance of the Chaudière Falls for Indigenous communities in this region, it would be amazing to see that natural landscape freed from its industrial past, and right now it's pretty much hemmed in by its industrial past.
Having access to like an outdoor space, like a space that isn't a parking lot to do a ceremony, or you have to travel to access ceremony. But don't get me wrong, I did a ceremony on the weekend in the courtyard at Arts Courts.
There should be a park in the Ottawa, within the boundaries of the city of Ottawa, where Indigenous people could go to have just for their spiritual needs and for healing circles and sharing circles, and to do ceremony if they wish.
I hope in the future that city of Ottawa can have a space, a safe place for everyone to engage with each other. That regardless, cultural backgrounds. I think if we can start to teach kids how to respect each other, how to work together with each other, and how to get to know each other, maybe in the future, the cultural space do not need to be, more divided into, this is for this group, this is for another group. So everyone can work together.
For me, what makes the neighborhood so interesting culturally is not that it's dominated by one culture, that this is X group's neighborhood. It's that this is a place where so many different groups come and they participate in this ballet on the streets and on the sidewalks of living together.